And now, here with Zack Tawatari, Matt Musil, and former Texan Seth Payne from SportsRadio 610.
Yeah.
Longest winning streak, guys, now since 2018.
Yeah. Yes.
How's that possible? You got a quarterback and a coach.
It feels, well, you know what's weird about it is 2018 seems like 2 decades ago because the organization's been through so much in that time. They've lived a lot of years in that 5 years.
That is right. As always, we do our satisfaction survey. Seth, how satisfied are you after this win?
I'm in a little bit of a dilemma here because I find myself at the end of a 6-2 run over the course of 8 games. Can I be neutral with a team that just won a football game, but they did it kind of sloppy and they didn't put it away? And can I even be unsatisfied? But by virtue of me even ask myself that question, I realize that I actually am satisfied because it's a good enough team for me to have high enough standards that I'm not sure if I'm even happy with this victory, even though they could only win 3 of these things last year.
I'm so happy you went first. I have my own pen, by the way. Okay, so,
Thank you.
All right, our choices, wow. Hey, look, if Kyler Murray leads them to a touchdown late, I'm unsatisfied for sure. Neutral, no, that's Texas A&M's football program. I'm going satisfied because they won the football game. You try to win the game, right? Okay, it wasn't pretty at times. They won the game. Come on.
Now that you guys have gotten the big explanations out of the way, I'm just going to go with how I feel, which is at this point unsatisfied because this team is better than they played today. They had the ability to put the Cardinals away. Yes, it's a young team, but they should have put this team away. We should be unsatisfied with that.
See the certainty that comes with youth, Matt?
I don't know. I think anytime you win, I think you have to be at least somewhat satisfied. And since somewhat satisfied is not on the board, I'm going to maybe go kind of close to satisfied and neutral, but more satisfied. So that's what we're saying. And now here's what the Texans are saying after this one.
This game, it was a lot of miscues. Things didn't go our way. But what I love most and what I told our guys is, man, we found a way to win.
I would say we took a step, but we got to keep taking that step. You know, we understand that there's still a lot of ball to play. We understand the opponent we're facing next week.
Threw for 300 yards again and 2 touchdowns. I don't think I played terrible, but of course you can't turn the ball over.
How should we take what we've seen from the Texans on Sunday? Come up with big plays when they need them, or squandered multiple opportunities to put away a bad team? I guess it's glass half full, half empty type deal.
Yeah, I think for me, I'm still glass half full just because, look, CJ threw those interceptions, but there were 3 times down in the red zone where they're going for 7 points. They could have ended up with 3, yes. They could have ended up with 12 points if they converted that 4th and 2. But if they kicked field goals instead of going for it. But I also think that CJ was thinking, I'm going for 28 points. And the big lesson really is, look, he threw 3 interceptions today. They still won the football game. And I don't think that was happening with any of the quarterbacks from the last couple of years.
I think the team took a step forward. Even though it wasn't perfect, we've watched CJ bail this team out the last couple of weeks. This week, the defense stepped up and made plays. Hey, it wasn't pretty at times, but man, I tell you what, when they're making plays at the end to save that win, I was impressed. And that helps the whole team unity. Yeah. You're moving forward. You got a big game coming up. That's what all the guys are talking about afterwards. I just hope some of the fans, we saw fans out there that hadn't been to games in a while. I saw a Vince Wilfork jersey. Come on. Deshaun Watson, I understand, but update the jerseys, the clothing when you come out. We got more fans in there, and I want to see that, though.
It's got to still be glass half full because when you look at the fact that they're still able to win this game despite those mistakes, I think that is the cause for celebration, really. And on top of that, seeing multiple guys get involved in this game today. We saw John Mechie get involved. We saw a lot of the young defenders get involved in this game. I think it's good morale-wise for everybody.
Yeah, and I think, look, sometimes we get fixated, I think, so much on gushing about how CJ throws so few interceptions, which is true and which is awesome. Right. But, yeah, Tom Brady threw 3 interceptions in an NFC championship game in like a 3-minute period, and they still won that game. So it's not the end of the world. It's just that part of the myth of CJ was probably a little bit unrealistic. It wasn't like he was going to go the entire season only throwing 2 interceptions.
But having brought up the interceptions, and CJ after the game said, I know you guys will talk about the interceptions. Is there a common theme among these, or do you think there's special circumstances for each one?
I thought they were all 3 different. I mean, the first one, Zach and I are sitting there and like, oh, he wanted that one back. As soon as he let it go, double coverage.
Yeah.
The next one was a deflection off Robert Woods. You could say, well, he had to gun it in there to get it hit the window. And then the other one, the guy jumped the route. So I thought there were 3 different types of interceptions. And again, let's go back to what you said earlier. It didn't stop him from just keeping going downfield. And that's what I like, just keep going, like Steph Curry.
I think, remember back to Matt Schaub. I don't know if you remember, but Matt Schaub had a string of pick sixes. It was kind of painful.
Yeah,
but
that was very painful.
There was a common theme to those where he just did not have the arm strength to drive the ball to the sideline, and he was putting the ball in harm's way. And I don't see that with CJ. I see these as aggressive mistakes. Some of them mental. Today, I think more so physical and ball placement. It's like in a movie when there's a sharpshooter and. I don't know if I should go here with this or not. It's like when he's in a movie when there's a sharpshooter and somebody's got a person hostage and the sharpshooter decides to shoot the hostage taker. Maybe today he shouldn't have shot the hostage taker. That's all. Even the best marksmen sometimes have an off day.
Well, following that one up,
innocent people died.
Thankfully, this is only a football game.
Yes.
I like what you said about being aggressive, because I think the fact that it seems they've opened up the playbook over the last 4 or 5 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
We've seen CJ make some mistakes over that period of time, and I think that's bound to happen, but it needs to happen in order for him to see the mistakes that he makes with that expanded playbook, with being more aggressive, to realize where to, again, toe that line and maybe not shoot the hostage taker.
I want to bring up more painful memories.
Do you want to talk about the time my dog died when I was 14?
I want to talk about the time Osweiler talked about when a child wants to touch a stove and his mama says, don't touch that stove, it's hot. But you just don't know until you touch that stove. And it was at that moment we knew that Brock Osweiler had been a stupid toddler.
Oh, boy. Hey, but let's bring it all back to, remember, the reason they're pushing it more downfield after CJ complained in postgame.
He said it. Yep.
I don't know if he would call it a complaint, but I know what you're saying. It was an
for
observation. A veteran calls it a complaint. A rookie calls it an observation.
Right. Yes. But everyone responded after that, including his OC.
I wish my wife would quit observing so many things.
How do we feel about this team now heading into this very important Jacksonville game? I really like what you said about how the defense was able to really fill the gaps from what CJ wasn't able to do. So how do you feel going in to this Jacksonville game, which is really a crucial meeting?
Yeah, this is for the division for the moment. Yeah. I'm amped up about it. I think, look, the Jaguars are a better team than they were in Week 3. I think the Texans are a better team than they were in Week 3. And like you guys have all said in some form or variety, this was a team victory today. CJ did not have his A game. He did some really good things, and he produced a lot of offense. It's just he turned the ball over 3 times, and yet the team was able to win through a combination of the good things he did, but also the defense. I mean, the defense came up with 3 fourth-down stops in the fourth quarter. That's a big deal.
And you brought up the name of Brock Osweiler, a guy that really didn't learn from his mistakes.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, this kid, C.J. Stroud, man, this guy learns constantly. He's so humble, but he's always thinking what he can do better, and that's going to be good for this team. Heading into Jacksonville, this will be their biggest test so far. I can't wait. Just don't bring that Vince Wilfork jersey this week, okay?
What's wrong with Vince?
Well, he's a Hall of Famer, I understand, but just update the wardrobe.
Well,
I love the fact that today we saw a 2-minute defense step up when it was really the 2-minute offense that won a number of games for them, over this period of several weeks. And I think that completeness, taking that into next week, they're flying high right now. I mean, the Texans in that locker room feel like they are firing on all cylinders. And that's what we should be excited for, watching it from the outside, to see them go head-to-head with that mentality.
Yeah, and the other thing about the defense today was they were banged up at linebackers, so they played in their nickel defense pretty much the entire time, just with 2 linebackers, Christian Harris and Blake Cashman, who had 19 tackles. I mean, Blake was all over the place.
He was.
Yeah.
All right, Seth, As always, thanks for joining us. Former Texan Seth Payne from Sports Radio 610, who apparently also could double as a Hollywood reporter.
Yes.
Thank you so much for being on Sports Extra tonight.
My glass is half full. It's just like my belly.